Hello everyone, welcome along to the grand finale of this year's QIPCO British Champion Series. We've made our way down to Ascot with the finishing touches being put in place ahead of 6 fantastic races coming your way on Saturday. Myself and Ali Rowell will be previewing all of the big races and all of the big names, including the likes of Cirrus de Zegler, Marek, and of course the Royal runner Estimate. Lots to get through, so let's get the show on the road by hearing from the man behind the QIPCO British Champion Series, Sheikh Farhad. Sheikh Farhad, many thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. We've got the sales going on in the background, Champions Day coming up as well. Is this for you the sort of highlight of the season this time of year?
It's like the most exciting part of the season, to be honest. You know, trying to buy the next champion from thousands of horses is not an easy job. You can pay a lot of money and get duds. You know, it doesn't matter what money you pay. We bought Kiyoshi for 80,000 in book 2, and she became the Albany winner. So it's exciting.
So take me back to the start then. When did you get the racing bug?
Like any other person, you know, we watch it start off with. I've grown up with horses. You know, my father had a lot of Arabian horses, but never thoroughbreds, and I've always wanted to try my hand on thoroughbreds. So once I finished my studies here in England, I had a few of the breeze-up horses, and we've done well with them. I had a stakes winner from my first year, so I brought my brothers into Royal Ascot the next year, and we had Frederick Engels win. So they've really got the bug as well now. So we've all gotten together and buying the horses as Qatar Racing.
If I can be honest with you, Sheikh Farhad, we'd all heard about Sheikh Farhad getting involved in this sport. And then we met, and it was like meeting an old friend. You were very approachable, very kind, very generous with your time. Was that something you were conscious of when you came into the sport?
I was. I think the only way to actually better yourself in horse racing is to mix it with everybody in racing, whether it be big or small. Everybody has its own views, and the way I've learned is, you know, meeting different people every time and just learning from them, just sitting and listening to them. Trust me, that's the only way to learn in this sport. If you come into this sport thinking, I know that, you know, I know what I'm doing, then you don't know nothing about this sport. You have to actually come in with an open mind, learn from everybody in the sport.
You'd be hoping to have some runners on Champions Day, Qatar Racing, Pole Bus Stock, etc.
I would love that.
How proud are you of Champions Day as a project?
I think very much. I think, as I said to you, I think last year, when I came to this game, I looked at it. I loved the Breeders' Cup, watching it on TV. I thought, you know, that's nice. That's the finale of the year. At least you know what's, you know, this is all Group 1s, and they're racing at the top level in each category. I asked David. I said to David, "What's the equivalent of that in England?" He said, "We don't have one in Europe, let alone England." I said, "You know, there must be something to be done." Then the Champions Day project came about, and he knew how interested I was in having a finale, for instance. So we sat down and we talked about it. I spoke to my brothers, and they loved the sport, and they had Mackie already, so they were quite keen to support the idea. And it just grew, as you see. And I think the last 2 years we had, you know, the best horses in the world run in Champions Day rather than France's the Arc or the Breeders' Cup. So that's just you know, it can't be. That's the best support you can get.
My final question is, for racegoers, for racing fans that are going to be at Ascot on Champions Day, what can they expect?
Expect a fantastic show on turf. I think they'll love it as they've done before, and they're going to see some special race I'm really sure about.
Thanks very much to Sheikh Farhad for his time. Let's say hello to Ali Rowell now. She's out on course with an update on the ground.
Thanks very much, Ollie. Well, I'm down here on the hallowed turf of the final furlong here at Ascot. Pleased to be joined by Clerk of the Course, Chris Stickles. And Chris, at the moment, a few days out from Champions Day, what's the ground like, the going like?
Well, it's on the easy side at the moment, Ali. We're currently good to soft in places.
And how much rain is forecast for the rest of the week and leading up to the weekend?
It's tricky to predict, to be honest, because there are a couple of dry days, also a couple of showery days. So we're expecting some rain, particularly towards the end of the week there could be some showers back with us again. I mean, we had a wet weekend last weekend, which is why we're kind of soft in places at the moment. We had 18 millimetres between Thursday and Sunday last weekend.
How much more rain do you think the course can take though before you're going to have to start re-evaluating? The drainage is sort of taking it quite well, the course is taking it well?
Yeah, I mean, it's a well-draining track. It'll take it very well. It'll take quite a lot more rain really before, you know, the ground softens much more, and all the time it stays dry, albeit kind of overcast, it helps just soak through. And
what kind of preparations have you done specifically for Champions Day?
We did save quite a bit of ground actually. All the ground on the inside on the round course was saved, at least 5 metres and 7 metres actually coming up the home straight. So there's fresh ground for all of the Champion Stakes itself, and that's been saved since August. And again, there's 6 or 7 yards saved up this sprint rail here as well, and that's been saved since August.
Hasn't been, you know, this one hasn't been raced on for
exactly. This grain hasn't been raced on since the beginning of August.
And then looking ahead to Saturday, what are race goers coming along? What do you think the forecast is going to be like there?
At the present, it looks like we could expect a few showers, but you know, it's this time of year, things can change quite quickly. So ever hopeful for a dry day.
And how do you think it's going to compare to this time last year, though, 12 months ago? Because that was, what, soft going then?
Soft, heavy in places, I think it was last year. I anticipate it being better than the current forecast indicates that, you know, the going should be better than that.
And you've got some great entries. Horse you're most looking forward to seeing?
Oh, well, I think that, you know, the QE2 looks a great race this year. So, yeah, I'm Olympic Glory, looking forward to that. I mean, you know, the Champion Stakes, I'm looking forward to the whole day, really.
It's going to be fantastic. Thanks very much, Chris.
Thank you.
These iconic colours date back to 1762. They are, of course, the colours of Her Majesty the Queen, who owns Estimate, who's already lit up Ascot on a number of occasions this year, including at Royal Ascot when she landed a famous victory in the Gold Cup.
Estimate is joining to join him. Simon on the purple jacket down the centre now. And behind those trying to come through the challenger's Top Trip into the closing stages. Estimate and Simon on. Top Trip trying to get on terms between those. Estimate the red sleeve jacket. Simon on the outside. Racing towards the line. It's a happy and glorious day at Royal Ascot. Estimate has won the Gold Cup for the Queen.
A fabulous race to start the day, and in many people's minds, this filly will be the star of the show, the star of the day. They turned up in their thousands to see her win at Royal Ascot here in June. She's won 3 times at Ascot in the past, and it'd be great to see a repeat of those wonderful scenes from Royal Ascot.
It was amazing. We were both at Royal Ascot, and there were just so many people gathered around the winners' enclosure to get a look at the Queen and see the joy on her face after Estimate won.
Yeah, and seeing them in the papers the next day, all over the front covers in the Royal box, just a few levels up from here, her cheering on, beaming smile, waving to her jockey, Ryan Moore, as he galloped in front of the stands. And it'd be great to have the first Royal winner of Champions Day.
No Simonon for Estimate. Simonon's got pretty close to Estimate in the past, but there are a number of other horses who are hoping to lower these colours on Champions Day.
And it's Simonon having to dig deep again as Azima draws alongside him. Azima on the far side, near side is Simonon, and Azima for the first time strikes the front, approaching the final furlong, leads narrowly, but Simonon is nothing if not game and begins to charge back at Azima. Simonon the near side battling back, Azima the far side, to the line they go, and Azima had it by a head.
At the furlong pole, Harris Tree continues to be in front. Malnafos is the one who's gaining a little bit now. Tacto Bartron back in third. Half furlong to go. Harris Tree trying to hold on. Malnafos trying to get to him. Harris Tree in the white jacket is in front, and he just won.
Choisir was a legendary sprinter here at Ascot. We move now on to the sprinting division of the QIPCO Champion Series. Let's take a look at the stories so far.
Morrowage, Spirit Quartz and Reckless Abandon. This side here's Soul Power, Unleashed with a big run alongside. Soul Power is another former winner of the race, Kingsgate Native. They're inside the final furlong now. Kingsgate Native, Soul Power this side. Reckless Abandon is over on the far side. Swiss Spirit is finishing off really well. Kingsgate Native is just in front at the line. Kingsgate Native has won it again.
Reckless Abandon heading over to the stands rail. Shay out in the centre. Sham Express is third. Reckless Abandon with over on the far side. Shay coming home strongly in the centre. It's Pearl Secret. Soul Power's also finishing off well. Shay with Soul Power. Soul Power on the near side.
Lethal Force has always been in front. He's got 200 yards to go with Adam Kirby. He's drifting to the near side, but it's the Lethal Force in front. Society Rock has moved into second, but that's the best he'll do. Lethal Force made on to Society Rock.
They jump away for the Dali July Cup, and Lethal Force and Hamza are the two that are cutting out the running. Furlong and a half to go. Lethal Force again making the best of his way home. Society Rock, Sham Express, Gale Force 10. Shay is now out in the clear. It's Lethal Force who leads. Society Rock, Slade Power and Shay in pursuit. Soul Power angling out for a last challenge. It's Lethal Force, however, who is keeping going again. Lethal Force from Society Rock, Shay and Slade Power. Dali July Cup for Lethal Force.
Big challenge on the outside here from Joala, who's running a blinder. Shay now being launched by Frankie, powering down the outside. Soul Power as well. Slade Power is beaten. Joala in front as they enter the final 50 yards. This is going to be an enormous upset. Joala to the line is going to hang on and wins it for Stevie Droud.
Slade Power is giving chase. Then Soul and Hoofit, Hamza and Hawkeye the New. But it's Gordon Lord Byron in front. Runner-up in the race 12 months ago. He reigns supreme this time. And Gordon Lord Byron wins the Betfred Sprint Cup.
Well, some fantastic performances by the sprinters this season. I'm at the Choisier Bar, and Ollie, you've been tempted to take a few of those bottles of champagne, but not yet. Wait till Saturday.
I know it is tempting. There's no one around, Ali, so we could have a drink if you wanted. But I don't think we will, because that would be my course record for getting thrown out of the races.
And it's quite a track record.
A few days before the races. Yeah, thanks for that, Ali.
But the rain is coming down. It's unlikely to be a track record in the sprint division. But the champagne will be flowing if Marek does it again for the second year running.
Yeah, he was really impressive last year when he won here at Ascot under Jamie Spence, and then in France recently he was really dominant. And the rain coming is going to be a massive sort of boost to his chances. He's a very classy sprinter in what is, as we know, a wide open division. They all sort of win their races in turn, and it's, as I say, it's wide open. You can make a case for a number of these.
It is a wide open race. Let's take a look at the other contenders.
And Gordon Lord Byron has moved through on the far side to take over there. Slade Power challenging down the near side from Hoofit and Soul. Hamza's a couple of lengths off them. Gordon Lord Byron running that solo up the far rail, passing the furlong. Slade Power is giving chase. Then Soul and Hoofit, Hamza and Hawkeye the New. But it's Gordon Lord Byron in front. Runner-up in the race 12 months ago. He reigns supreme this time. And Gordon Lord Byron wins the Betfred Sprint Cup.
As they come down towards the final furlong, it is Stepper Point who's out in front, shows by a couple of lengths to Mora, Kingsgate native, Tickle Pink, and here comes York Glory charging on the near side. Stepper Point now needs the line. York Glory coming there in the centre is Marek, far side, Kingsgate native. Marek now hit the front, and it's Marek for Ireland who goes on to win.
So for the first, and in truth probably the only time, I've been allowed into a box here at Ascot. A wonderful view of the racecourse behind, and these boxes will be packed come Saturday. We're going to take a look at the Fillies and Mares category now. Here's the story so far.
Just a judge on the stand side, Sky Lantern between the pair winning Express. Snow Queen thundering home with Maureen. Just a judge, Sky Lantern over the top. They go for the line, the Guineas. Sky Lantern! Richard Hughes wins the British Classic. And they're off and racing. It's Secret Gesture who leads the Oaks with just over a furlong to travel, and it's Talent, the stable companion, who's coming after the leader. Race Beckett with a 1-2, and it's the outsider Talent who moves through the lead for a shock in the Oaks. Secret Gesture and the Lark battling out second, but it's Talent, another classic for Richard Hughes, and a 1-2 for Race Beckett.
And now Sky Lantern swamping the lot of them. Sky Lantern the grey grabbed the lead with 100 yards left to go and careering away for Richard Hughes. It's Sky Lantern, the 1,000 Guineas winner, who has blitzed them in the coronation.
So now we're getting towards the business end. Can Elusive Cape run the finish out of Sky Lantern? Richard Hughes Still just trying to hold his 3-year-old filly together. In third place is Jockey. Elusive Kate's now going for everything, hanging off the rails. Sky Lantern taking a while to get by. Elusive Kate struggling to run straight, carrying Sky Lantern towards the centre. Furlong and Jockey. Elusive Kate continues to be in front from Sky Lantern. Elusive Kate's carried Sky Lantern over on the far side, but he's holding her at the line. It is Elusive Kate. Sky Lantern, who now is travelling well. Integral behind them, wins City with a run, trying to hold Sky Lantern into the pocket. Sarger with Just Pretending. Sky Lantern all of a sudden leads it out, wins City, and right down the outside, Thistlebird gathering momentum, and Sky Lantern's imprisoned in a pocket. It's Sarger in the blue, wins City, Thistlebird, Sky Lantern carrying the thread the needle, and Richard Hughes' luck has finally run out. Thistlebird in the yellow cap, wins City on the far side, driven out, wins City, Thistlebird at the line, wins City for a shot.
It's Venus de Milo from the Fugue, who strikes the front now, approaching the final furlong, and scampers clear very quickly indeed. And the Fugue, back to her very best. Second 12 months ago, goes one better and wins the Yorkshire Oaks in brilliant fashion for John Goss and William Buick.
So it's time to talk about the girls now, Ali, the fillies and mares.
Your specialist subject, Ali.
Well, as you know, I've done the form long and hard for this race, and I'm really keen on the chance of Hot Snap here. She beat Sky Lantern at the start of the year in, as we know, a race that's worked out really well. Sky Lantern's obviously gone to dominate in the mile division, and that day Hot Snap looked brilliant, and loads was expected of her. To be fair, it's been a checkered season for her. She's had a few problems along the way, but she ran very well at Goodwood. She ran well in defeat on a couple of occasions since then. So for me, fingers crossed, I hope it's Hot Snap.
Not good enough for me though, Ollie. I disagree. I'm with talent here, the Oaks winner. It's great that this race, third year running, we've got the Oaks runner in the fillies and mares race. But for me, she's ideal. She's the classy horse in the race. She obviously won the Oaks, went on to finish second in the St Ledger, and I disagree with you.
So even though I've done all the form for the race, you're just flat out disagreeing with me?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, before we get the boxing gloves out up here in the box, let's take a look at the leading contenders in the fillies and mares category.
On the far side, Exactement in the green colours. Here comes Sky Lantern against the rails, also staying on his Hot Snap as well. Hot Snap in the pink colours. On the far side, the grey Sky Lantern. It's Hot Snap, Tom Quayle, for Sir Henry Cecil and Prince Khalid Abdullah. Hot Snap is going to win the Nelgwyn and win it stylishly. Sky Lantern is second.
So Whaler, Ryan Moore was a couple of pounds overweight beforehand, but now moves into top gear, approaching the final furlong. Between us, Gertrude Verst out in the centre, Soho Dancer, then Whippy Cream. La Arenosa's been burnt right off here, but how easy do you want it here for Whaler, the favourite, storming clear. 2 pounds, could have been 2 stone overweight for Ryan Moore, would have still won. Whaler romps to victory in the big one.
Well, this place is eerily quiet at the moment, but will be absolutely rammed come Saturday. We move now to the finale of the QIPCO mile division. It's the QE2 Stakes, Europe's richest mile race. Let's take a look at the story so far.
So all set for the QIPCO 2000 guineas, and they're off.
Dawn Approach a search on the climb up the hill. Toronado now under pressure. Gloria Waits is back in third place. It's Dawn Approach who's 2 to 3 lengths clear in the guineas. Gloria Waits running a blinder as Toronado runs out of puff. But Dawn Approach, 7 from 7, wins the QIPCO 2000 guineas. An important success for Godolphin. Far is 3 to 4 lengths clear and is effortlessly stretching away from Sovereign Deck and Aljama here, and Far will get his Group 1, and decisively so. Far scoops away to success in the JLT Lockage. And now it's from Shawish, who's come through to take it up. Toronado down the centre of the track, and Dawn Approach between them. Dawn Approach storming through in the blue jacket to challenge Toronado at the end of the closing stages. It's Toronado the grey, Dawn Approach the blue colours. Very tight between them, they're going to hit the line very close. Dawn Approach and Toronado. Trade Storm is coming through with a challenge. Animal Kingdom is well beaten off. Plenty in with chances, a furlong to go. Elusive Kate and Gregorian stablemates. Aljama here, the blue colours between them. Declaration of War coming very strongly in the closing stages. Declaration of War has taken it up and wins the Queen Alda. grey jacket coming down the centre. The 2 3-year-olds duel it out as they race inside the last 100 yards. Toronado's coming home strongly. He's grabbed the lead. It's Toronado's day. A cheeky back from Richard Hughes as he wins it to Dawn Approach in second. Declaration of War and then Trade Storm.
The moment of truth. Can the horse close on the uphill climb to the line? At the moment, soft falling rain is holding Monkey Ridge. Premier Loco staying on for third, but it's soft falling rain who is powering away. We'll see out the mile in style. A high-class performer wins the Nay of Joel Stakes.
Well, this race really could be the highlight of the afternoon. It's been billed as round 4 between Toronado and Dawn Approach, and they are just so close, these two colts.
Yeah, as we've just seen, it's been a wonderful season. The story, the duel, if you like, between Dawn Approach and Toronado. It's been a duel that's lit up the Champion Series throughout the course of 2013. At the moment, it's Dawn Approach 2, Toronado 1, but Toronado won the most recent renewal and won a shade cosily. Richard Hughes gave the horse a pat down the neck. He's said all season that this horse is the real deal. He said in the Guineas he thought Toronado would win. In fact, it was Dawn Approach that came out on top. Dawn Approach has run in the Derby. He's been beaten a few times, but it's been a wonderful duel. I'm personally, I'm in the Toronado camp. I think he's pretty special. And Dawn Approach has had, as I said, quite a tough season. So for me, on Saturday, I'm Team Toronado. I'm
Team Toronado with you for this one.
So you're not disagreeing with me this time,
amazingly not.
No, makes a change.
But it's been great ever since that run in the Inglorious Goodwood. This day has been lined up. It's been sort of in the calendar for these two round 4 to rematch. But let's not forget about some of the other runners.
Yeah, because we've actually got a really interesting runner this year, you know, in Soft Falling Rain, who's trained by Mike de Kock, started off his career in South Africa. Then he was so brilliant in Dubai. And he looked back to his very best last time. He clocked some really quick sectional times when he won at Newmarket recently. And Mike de Kock's all along said he's the real deal. So whilst, you know, we're all saying it's the Dawn Approach Toronado show again, I think the South Africans might have something to say about it.
Well, we have talked about some of the contenders, but let's take a look at the rest of the competition heading into this Saturday's QE2.
Coming to the 200, Soft Falling Rain, the 3-year-old is coming at half thick. He's picking him up with every stride. Soft Falling Rain alongside half thick. He puts his head in front. Soft Falling Rain is drawing clear. Soft Falling Rain.
Sky Lantern going to challenge on the near side. Elusive Kate doing the party trick of drifting over towards the near side. And Integral and Dunkler, the first two to commit over on the far side. Sky Lantern left with a little bit of ground to make up. Integral, Dunkler, Sky Lantern digging in and now beginning to come home strongly. And Sky Lantern is at the head of the Fillies and wins again in Group 1 company.
We've come down to the Old Paddock Lawn, which will be a hive of activity on race day. And if you notice, I'm making my way through the worker statues and Ali's making her way through the royalty.
The way it should be, Ollie.
Is that right? And this place will be buzzing on race day, won't it?
Absolutely. There's so much going on down here. It's like an interactive racegoers area. You can have a go at being a jockey, ride out a finish, have a pony ride, even come and meet a racehorse.
We do have a couple of races to preview before we wrap this up on this QIPCO British Champion Series preview, including the big race itself. But before that, the apprentice jockeys get a chance to shine.
Oh yeah, and it's been a fantastic year for the apprentice jockeys. Robert Tart winning a big race in Ireland. Oisin Murphy, of course, a 4-timer up at Ayr, including the Gold Cup. And Jason Hart, he's been throwing the winners out all season up in Yorkshire.
Those jockeys that Ali's just mentioned will be hoping, and I'm sure they will be, one day fighting out the finish in the championship for the champion jockey standings in years to come. It is our current champion jockey, though, that leads the way in the British Champion Series jockey standings. Richard Hughes, who has ridden 4 winners, like Joseph O'Brien, who's hot on his heels in second place. Richard Hughes has ridden 4 winners, but is in front on countback. He's had 3 seconds. Joseph O'Brien's had 4 winners, a second and 2 thirds, and William Buick closely following them in third with 3 winners, 2 seconds and 2 thirds, so all to play for.
Well, plenty to play for in the jockeys, but the trainers not quite so tight. Aidan O'Brien at the top there with 135 points. It is 20 points for a win, so Richard Hannon and John Gosden, who are lying second and third, are going to have to pick up quite a few points this weekend to knock Aidan off the top of the standing. Aidan having 5 wins in the QIPCO Champion Series so far this season. Well, we've come to the big one. It's the finale of the QIPCO Middle Distance Division. It's the Champion Stakes. And let's take a look at the stories so far this season.
St Nicholas Abbey showed the better initial turn of foot. Was it enough to see off Dunedin, who's still got 3 lengths to find? They now enter the final furlong. St Nicholas Abbey is holding Dunedin back in third is Joshua Tree, and St Nicholas Abbey will make it 3 Investec Coronation Cups in a row. Ruler of the World leads the derby from Battle of Marengo, then Galileo Rock, Libertarian from a long way back, but it's Ruler of the World, Braden O'Brien and Ryan Moore who lead the derby field up to the line, and it's Ruler of the World who won the derby. Mukadram nibbling away at the advantage. Al-Kazim, they're clear of Camelot. Mukadram still in front. Al-Kazim is edging closer all the way to the line. Al-Kazim drawing alongside Mukadram. Al-Kazim, Mukadram, no more to give. And Al-Kazim gets up to win the Prince of Waleses.
Al-Kazim an all-out drive. They've got 150 yards to go. Al-Kazim has got the lead for James Doyle. Back in second is Mukadram. Declaration of war begins to fly. They've got now 50 yards to go. And Al-Kazim wins the Coral Eclipse.
And out in front, Novelist for Germany again. 5 to 6 lengths clear from Trading Leather. Then back in third, Hillstar and Sirius de Zegler. But another success in the King George for the resurgent international German force of racing. Novelist won the King George easily.
Declaration of war on the near side is finishing off. There's Trading Leather on the far side from Al-Kazim, and Jumpman International 2013 goes to Declaration of War. Gainley, a deserved win. Wins from Trading Leather, Al-Kazim only third.
Let's see what faces the runners and riders then in this Saturday's QIPCO Champion Stakes. 10 furlongs to the starting point at one of the furthest points away from the grandstand, and it's here where the runners and riders will be vying for early position. Last year, 12 months ago, it was Frankel that lit up Champions Day as he made a winning move as they rounded Swinley Bottom. 4 furlongs from home, and the jockeys are starting to wind up on their mounts as they turn into the long straight of Ascot in front of the packed grandstands. Sirius de Zegler, the market leader, will be hoping to add a second Champion Stakes to his illustrious CV, and he'll be pushing out inside the final furlong, hoping to become the champion on Champions Day.
Well, no Al-Kazim, no Novelist. In my mind, Ollie, just one horse is going to be coming through that tunnel into the winner's enclosure after the Champion Stakes, and that's Sirius de Zegler. Yeah,
I don't blame you. He's a top quality horse. He's rated so highly. He's won this race in the past. He finished second to Frankel, and there's no shame in that. He's one of the greatest horses to ever live, Frankel, and he lit up this day 12 months ago, and Sirius de Zegler returned with a bang last time out.
And the more rain, the more squelch in the ground, the better.
That word, Ali.
But a really interesting runner in Far as well.
Yeah, Far's connections will be hoping to make their way into this winner's enclosure, and the fact that he could line up on Champions Day is really interesting because he was so impressive in the Lockinge. He's another horse that's found Frankel too good in the past, but I personally think it'll be Sirius de Zegler's connections in this winner's enclosure.
Sirius de Zegler, Frankel moves alongside. Wheelie's finger poised on the button for one final electric burst. Frankel bidding to settle it. Sirius de Zegler is making a fight of it on the far side. Frankel extends. Sirius de Zegler is a worthy adversary, but up towards the line. All comers, all ground, all beaten.
Inside the final furlong, Mukadram now is all out. Grandeur comes up alongside. There's a half length between them. Mukadram is digging deep. Mukadram still leads over Grandeur and racing to the line. Mukadram wins the York Stakes.
So I hope that's whetted the appetite and given you a taste of what you can expect on Saturday. We've mentioned just a few of the equine stars, the Dawn Approaches, the Sirius de Zeglers of this world, but there is going to be so many more that are going to light up Ascot on Saturday.
Yeah, 6 fantastic races. It's the culmination of the QIPCO British Champion Series. We'll be here and I hope you can join us.